Previously, I made a YouTube short demonstrating a Pong game and a Microsoft Access form using VBA. I hadn't seen anything like it before, so I just kind of went for it. I posted about it on Reddit, and I heard some great suggestions and comments. One comment that stuck with me was someone who said that this Pong game sort of motivated them to make their own Breakout-style clone. You may have heard of Breakout, Arkanoid, Brick Breaker, whatever. They're all pretty similar. Anyway, I gave it about a year, and since I didn't see anything posted about it, I went ahead and tried this myself. I want to respect people's privacy, but if you're the one who came up with this idea in the Reddit post, I'd love to give you credit for the idea. All right, so we have this table so we can keep track of high scores. We have the start button right here. We have a score text box. We have a cursor. We have a ball. We have a bunch of bricks. And of course, we have the background too. So let's give this a whirl and let's see what we got. So you can see that it starts off a little bit slow. And as the ball hits the bricks, it starts to increase in speed. As you get towards the end, it gets very, very fast and it becomes increasingly difficult. I don't think the speed of the paddle is going to be enough here. So you can see right here what happens if you lose. And of course, we don't have any scores in our table yet. So this is the highest score. This is going to append my value to that table. I'm just using the option dial like you'd use in a survey as the ball here. Now you can use something totally different if you want. This is named ball, but if you want to put your own image in here, your own whatever, as long as you name it ball, it'll work. It'll function as a ball. So I'm going to add an image here. We got a couple different files here, PNG, JPEG. Well, let's use my channel's logo as an example. We'll make that the ball here. So when I add this in here, it's going to be huge. We need to decrease this. Now it's a little bit glitchy, and that's one of the things I'm working on here. Images can be kind of glitchy. So once I start this, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and run it. We got to name this ball. So once we started, you can kind of see how it works. So it's moving. It's definitely not perfect, but yeah, it's scalable. You can add your own thing in here, but definitely needs some improvements. Okay, let's up this a little with a larger image. You probably didn't see this coming, but yep, I had Gilbert Gottfried here, and it's basically the first public domain image I could think of and find, so that's the reason I have that there. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller too. Now this is even glitchier than the last one, so again, I have that issue there. But technically it works, it's just a little bit ugly, and as long as the outline of the image touches the brick, that's what will trigger the brick to disappear. So I could crop this a little bit more and maybe it'd be a little bit more accurate, but I'm just trying to demonstrate here. So you can see there, this giant image of Gilbert Gottfried is hitting those blocks right there. But yeah, very glitchy. Something that need to be fixed. Maybe that'll be you to fix that. Who knows? So you're going to notice that the picture is going to go quite a bit underneath the bottom barrier there before it's actually triggered and recognizes that it's out of bounds here. Now, if we want to, we can make the whole board a little bit wider. And if you want to put more bricks, you can. You don't have to. It'll still work. So let's demonstrate here. I'm going to start the form here. And so it's going to move to the right. And again, it starts off slower. Or we can change that. And I'll show you in just a few minutes, I promise. So you can see as it goes to the top, it just bounces off the top and it hits a brick. So if you want to add more bricks there, you can. In fact, maybe we'll do that in a minute. But you can just kind of see how this works. You can make it as wide as you want. You can make it vertically higher or lower, whatever you want to do too. Might be more challenging if you made it shorter though. So this is what happens if we add some more bricks. So let's go ahead and do that. Get a higher score, make it more challenging, more fun, and make the game last a little longer too. So I'm just copying these. I'm going to paste them. You don't have to give them IDs or names or whatever. It'll still work. But just to stay organized, you might want to, but again, it's going to still work either way. So put it on the right side too. Let's have a look and let's see what it looks like. The more rows you have, the more difficult it's going to get. And keep in mind, each time the ball hits a brick, it gets a lot faster and it's going to just be too impossible if you make it too fast. So it's hitting these new bricks. So it works fine that way. Again, this is just another tweak. Now you can make the board taller, and I recommend doing that if you add more bricks, because when the ball gets a lot faster, it's going to go to the bottom really quick, and it could be next to impossible if you don't make it a little bit taller. So that's what I'm going to do here. Let's see how this goes. Yikes, I almost missed this here. Whoa, I'm about ready to jack up the speed a little bit more here. All right, let's open this up in design mode to stop this from going, and let's take a look at the part of the code where we can adjust this. Okay, this is actually happening in my start button subroutine. Let's change this to a large number like 44, and just to be clear, we want to do this for both X and Y. Is it going to be too fast? Well, let's find out. And yeah, a little bit too quick there. If the board was a little bit taller, maybe it would have worked. Maybe let's just try something a little smaller, like let's go half to 22 and see if that's any better. This is almost 4 times as fast as the settings that we had in the very beginning. Okay, nope, not better. Let's try putting the ball up here and see if that's a little bit more manageable. Okay, yep, it's not too bad. Definitely a little bit trickier, but this works. It might get a little crazy though after hitting about a dozen blocks, but you can play around with a little and try for yourself. There's a ton of code here, and I don't want to spend the time covering all this in detail, especially since I'm putting this on GitHub, and I did provide a lot of comments. Sure, this is a rough draft and a proof of concept, and by no means is super polished, but it does show the potential of making a Breakout-style clone in Microsoft Access. Again, I'll provide the code at GitHub, and I'll actually supply the database file itself for you as well. And if you enjoyed this video, just do me a favor and like and subscribe. It really helps. I don't charge memberships for my code or my files, and therefore everything is free here, so I really appreciate the support. In the meantime, I'll catch you all next time. Take care.